I would like to take you through a journey of the passing of Papa. I think for the family it's important that, can we please have some silence in the house, please? For the family, it's important that we deliver this message so that we narrow down the narratives that are out there in the media space. So therefore, we felt the need to take the whole country into the journey that we all went through. On the 25th of August, it was a Sunday morning, when we received a call from the management team saying that Papa is in hospital, but is in a stable state. After receiving the call, we immediately called the phone of Papa to check if he is okay, but unfortunately it was answered by one of the management team members while they were in Botswana. They further communicated with us during the course of the Sunday and also during the course of the Monday morning and afternoon in terms of the medical condition of Papa. On Monday, while in Botswana, we could talk to Papa over the phone, and he told us that he's okay, but with a faded voice. We then went through the whole of Monday morning and Monday afternoon and Monday evening communicating with the management team in Botswana and Papa through the phone. On Tuesday morning, when my wife called me while I was at work saying that, look, can we go to Botswana and fetch Papa? We didn't hesitate. We immediately drove to Botswana with a view and vision that we will be coming back with Papa in the same car. We drove to Botswana on the Tuesday morning through the tedious roads that we encountered and landed in Botswana on the same night but in the evening. While in Botswana that evening, unfortunately, we could not go immediately into hospital because of obviously hospital times. We therefore slept at Botswana on that Tuesday and followed on the following day on Wednesday to the hospital early in the morning. When we got to the hospital in Botswana, I must also thank the management team that stayed with Papa from Sunday up until we arrived in Botswana. When we got to Botswana's hospital, Papa was already in the hospital there for about 2 days. The first encounter was with the doctors of Botswana, and it's important that we share the message so that you understand the journey that we took and the mental strain that the family took. Hence, there were no communication about this. The first encounter was with the doctors of Botswana, which told us that Papa came to the hospital on Sunday. He seemed to be, according to their words, and I quote, in a state of drunkenness. And we were all shocked, together with the management team. The same doctor examined him the next day, and then he still concluded with the same comments that your father looks a bit drunk, and it's 2 days in hospital. We asked the doctor, how is it possible that a man in your care seems a little bit drunk? What diagnosis have you given to date? And unfortunately, there hasn't been a diagnosis in Botswana. We therefore took a quick decision while in Botswana to say that, look, this is a critical situation. We need to take Papa back to South Africa. While going to his ward, we found Papa sitting in a ward alongside the two members of his management team. And the first words that he said when he saw her daughter coming in was that, "Don't cry, my daughter. Why are you crying?" It was the first time that we see him in that state. We've never seen him in that state. Following that, we therefore organized with the South African hospitals to arrange a bed so that we can immediately transfer Papa from Botswana to South Africa. It's unfortunate to say that there were no examinations or MRI scans or any sort of medical intervention that the hospital did that side. Hence, we took him to the nearest private hospital that we can find, which was in Rustenburg. Immediately when we got to Rustenburg, the physicians and the medical team, they quickly looked at Papa and then diagnosed him that he had a stroke. And with that said, they quickly had to do a brain operation on that day. We managed to do the brain operation at the private institution. After doing the brain operation, Papa was obviously admitted into ICU for a period of time. Unfortunately, the first operation was not successful, and we needed now to do another operation. That's when we pleaded to the public at large, pleaded to the communities, pleaded to South Africans to say that, yes, we have undergone the first operation. The public, can you assist us with funds? And unfortunately, the funds that were required and that were donated, it was not even a quarter of what was required for the operation. And we had to take an emotional decision also again as a family to say that we need to move Papa to a public institution so that we can continue with the second operation. We then moved Papa to a public institution in Gauteng, an academic institution, whereby they performed a second operation on him. On that second operation, it was hopeful and very positive on the second time in terms of the doctor's report that we received. It's important also to note that and say that during this time, while in ICU, all the medical staff, Papa prayed for them. He was singing with the medical staff while he was in ICU, singing for them and also praying for them. While in ICU, he said that to us that, Banag, I've heard everything you've said while I was in an induced coma. Thank you for the efforts that you have done. He was getting better while in a public institution, and he was moved to a normal ward. We asked the question as a family to say that, for us, he still looks critical. Why are you moving him out of ICU? They said they needed space in ICU. They took him to a ward, and I feel that as a family, for us to correct, or for us as South Africans to self-correct, we need to reflect and tell it like it is. While going into the wards, I can put it under oath here now that there is no cleaner in that ward. It was a shocking state that we've ever seen in our life. That is it really a medical facility that we're seeing here? Has there been cleaners in this facility? And my answer and conclusion to that was no. And I but it's important for me to say these things because of we need to save the next life. If you don't say it, people will never correct that behavior. And unfortunately, this is the only platform that I have, or that we have as a family rather. While in that same ward, Papa picked up a bacteria. In fact, I need to go back to the Sunday before, the Sunday when we got called, in that the doctors calling us at 1 a.m. in the night saying that they need to do another operation on Papa. And we quickly asked, what operation are you doing now? They said, no, there's something in the stomach. I'm saying, but what is something in the stomach? No answer given. Immediately the next day, Monday morning, we quickly go to the public institution as we're doing on a daily basis. And we found that no, the operation is not necessary anymore. He's got a bug infection that he picked up in the hospital. and he needs to be put in isolation. We asked the doctors, how is it possible that we get this back? They're telling us that the only way he could have picked up the bag is in hospital because of the hygiene conditions. We saw Papa deteriorating from a good heart rate, fighting. We were speaking to him on a daily basis that, Papa, please fight. And he couldn't move. The only movement he did was his head and nodding and telling us, yes, I'm fighting. But unfortunately, he was moved back into ICU after they could not treat the infection that he picked up in hospital. While in ICU, he made sure that he waits for his daughter, my wife's birthday, and also the younger sister's birthday. He passed on the day after the younger sister's birthday. And it was a sad situation for the family. So, in so saying, South Africans and family, we were very much hurt as a family when we asked for donations of an icon, and the public did not respond. And we need to put it out there. And I would like to also acknowledge JJ for the contribution, Professor JJ for the contribution he did on his show. We tend to celebrate people and fill up halls and demand to be in programs while people are dead. But when they are alive, we don't celebrate those people. We don't embrace those legends that we should be embracing. A community saves lives. I'm not saying that we should do it for Papa. I'm saying that we as a community, we should all look out for each other. When there's help needed next door or in front opposite you, let's all stand up and give that help that's required. You'll hear many speakers come today and telling you how Papa lives this life. He will always share his last cent with somebody that needs it. And he would not even have money himself. If he went to a shop to go buy something and somebody asked him for money, he will give him that last money and not even come back with the bread that he promised that will come with. That's the type of person that he was. Yes, indeed, we did require 700,000 of surgery. And like I said, we only managed to raise 100,000 out of South Africa. It's a sad situation for the family. We've been through a traumatic time. That's why we have not spoken about this on any publication or to anybody. But I would like to also acknowledge the leadership of AISA when they had the call that Papa is no more. They were the first actually to jump and say, look, as the music union industry, where can we do and where can we help? Today is a state funeral. With that being said, the approval only came yesterday, midday. All the resources that you are seeing here were done by the family. At the back of their minds, they still have debts of the private institution that they were at. At the back of their minds, we still have debts of the government institution, the academic institution that was helping Papa to have the second operation. We didn't even know that we pay at government institutions. Mama Nomvula, we were given a bill of 93,000 at a government institution. 93,000. I've never heard of that before. No one actually told us that we're going to pay. If we had to pay 93,000, we would have kept Papa for that duration in a private institution. And we would not have picked up that infection. He would have been kept in the ICU where he would have been monitored on a 24-hour basis. South Africans, that's how we lost Papa. There are many articles out there. That is not the truth. Some have even buried him last week. Some have even buried him last month. But he fought a good 7 weeks while in hospital, in a hospital bed. And I'm extremely proud of that man. Every time I walked into that IC unit, I told him the same word, Papa, I'm proud of you. I don't think there's any man that can stand this pain. but he did it for a full 7 weeks. South Africans, that's all that we that
Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing well today. Now you guys, for those who don't know, it is Ntate Solly Moholo's funeral today. On Wednesday, on Wednesday it was his memorial service. It was just so beautiful to see how his children were celebrating him. Oh, disclaimer before I continue, guys. I'm just gonna comment on what guys, this guy is the son-in-law, because that girl is Ntate Solly Moholo's daughter, and I believe that was the son-in-law. Yeah, I think it's the son-in-law, but I'm just gonna say Ntate Solly Moholo's son, because basically it is his son, So I'm just gonna comment based on that. There's nothing much I'm gonna say, so feel free to click off the video if you don't wanna hear me just rambling and all those things, because I'm gonna be speaking for like 15 minutes. Yes. So yeah, you guys, sometimes we just read the papers, we go with what's trending, what the papers are saying. Like, honestly speaking, because we don't have the information, so we run with whatever we have, okay? And the things that the son-in-law said, guys, it literally shocked me. It shocked the people who are streaming the live. I saw a whole lot of comments. People were so heartbroken, and some people feeling like if Dr. Solly Moholo received a better treatment in the public facility, he would have been fine. Like, he wasn't gonna be we won't be at his funeral today. So it's so heartbreaking, man. It's really heartbreaking. And I know he mentioned a whole lot of things, but there are specific things I wanna touch on, because I saw in the comment section people were like losing it because they felt like Dr. Solly Moholo was irresponsible, like the celebrities do not learn. Even when the family were asking for donations, because remember they needed 700K for the brain surgery, people was literally just like, oh my god, we are so tired of the celebrities always asking for donations as if we don't have our problems, which is understandable. But because of what we know now, people are just like, oh my god. I'm sure there are people who are regretting for not donating. People did not donate because they felt like celebrities feel like we owe them somehow, and we won't be donating. So what happened was that Ntate Solly Moholo fell ill, obviously, in Botswana, and they took him to the hospital. And unfortunately, in Botswana, they did not diagnose him with anything. When the son-in-law got there, they told them that he is drunk. I don't know how true is that, like, drunk. So they felt like he's a bit drunk and all those things, and I don't know. But the son-in-law was not shocked, so I'm just gonna assume maybe he's someone who drinks. But I don't know, man. Do you think that Solly Moholo was affected by the alcohol he probably drank? He drank or in Botswana, because in Botswana the workers there, the hospital workers there, they told the family gore he looks a bit drunk. So I don't know. So because he was very ill, his family decided to take him to South Africa home, right? And he was taken to a private hospital, which is something we did not know. Like, we did not know gore Dr. Solly Moholo was taken to a private hospital. Now, from what I read, they said Dr. Solly Moholo was taken to public hospital. We didn't know the information that he was transferred to a public private hospital. So fine. Dr. Solly Moholo was taken to a private hospital. When he got there, that's when they diagnosed him with a stroke. and they told the family gore they had to perform a brain surgery. Fine. And the brain surgery costed 700,000 rand, guys. Almost a million, like literally a million rand. Okay, so the family was like, cool, no problem. The family did not ask for donations. They were just so prepared. Unfortunately, they performed the surgery, but it didn't go well. It wasn't a successful surgery. And that is when the family did not have any choice. Now, on that one, that alone can show you Hore. Ntate Solly Moholo probably had like a medical aid. His family were just so supportive. Unfortunately, it's not everyone who have 100 million just sitting in their bank accounts waiting for people to get sick, you know. So that alone can show you that for me personally, I feel like he was a responsible man. People forget that even if you have a medical aid, unfortunately guys, there comes a point where you get sick a lot and the medical aid just gets out of funds and you have to cover everything yourself. Even people who go to give birth, they give birth and something goes wrong there and the medical aid be like, now we're gonna cover this, only you have to see yourself. So I think people tend to forget that actually medical aid is not like everything, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't get out of funds. Hello, you know. So I believe he had a medical aid, but things just, guys, that was just a lot of money. And because the surgery was unsuccessful, that's when the family released the statement asking for donations. So in the statement, the family did not say he was in the private hospital, so now we have to like do this and this and that. They just asked for donations because they have to perform a surgery. They didn't even say another surgery. So I think that's what really angered people. People just felt like, oh, every time when a celebrity is sick, now we have to be donating some money, you know. And that's when they asked for 700k, and people did not donate, guys. They say they only got how much? 100k, not even quarter of that money. They got 100k. People did not donate. People were just, but also people were just vocal about it. People was literally so vocal about it, and I think that was mistake number one, because they did not elaborate further on their statement. No, Ntate Solly Moholo was in the private hospital and they performed the first surgery, and unfortunately it wasn't a success. That's why they had to perform another one and they ran out of money. Fine. And because of that 100k, they decided, you know what, it's better if we just take him to a government hospital. And they took him there. Everything was okay. Unfortunately, unfortunately, we are already used to like public hospitals just being nasty, dirty, and because he was in a fragile state, he needed like a clean place. So they say when he was in ICU, unfortunately, the place did not look clean, and because of that, Ntate Solly Moholo contracted infection. So guys, can you see what actually Ntate Solly Moholo went through a lot, like in a very short, even in a very a short period of time. He went through so much, but he was fighting. So yeah, the family figured out no, he was actually not taken care of because the place was dirty. And that's when the son-in-law asked if they have a cleaner, because the place looked really dirty. And obviously that's when he contracted the infection. So I think it's safe to say that Solly Moholo was cause of death was infection, which can be the hospital's negligence, right? If I'm not mistaken, the lawyers will tell us. So, man, this is so sad. This is so sad because if it wasn't for the infection, people believe that Solly Moholo would have survived the stroke, you know. So because of the infection that was caused by the dirty place, he passed away. So yeah, I don't know about you guys. For me personally, I feel like the cause of death here, it is the infection. Solly Moholo did not die from the stroke or the brain surgery. He died from infection. And I'm very interested to know the story ya Kobotswana gore he was drunk. What do you mean someone is drunk? Was he poisoned? Or did he drink the wrong alcohol? That's why he fainted. Like, I wish we can know more on that, but it's no longer important, man. He is no longer here with us. He is gone. Whatever happens is not gonna bring him back. But the son-in-law said the reason why he's mentioning all of this is because he wants to save the next person, because people get stricken by stroke, you guys, and he's just trying to save the next person because the next person will experience the same thing, and he prays that the government hospital do better. Another shocking thing he revealed was that he didn't know what government hospitals, you have to pay as well, because they say they have bills go government hospital like 93k, guys. 93,000 rand is a lot of money, so they still have a bill go government hospital and 93,000 rand because of the brain surgery. Hi, guys, government hospital we pay these days. I didn't know that, but I saw in the comment section people were saying no, those ones is the academic hospitals. I don't know what is academic hospitals. So they say the reason why you have to pay is because of that, and but some people in the comment section were actually saying no, they shouldn't pay that money because government hospital is a government hospital and they shouldn't be paying. Because the son-in-law says Solly Moholo's children now, they have like a lot of debt, guys. A whole lot of debt. They also prepared the funeral themselves. Everything was just on them. Like everything you see here, they are the ones who had to like pay. So you can tell that they are financially strained. And yeah, I hope the government will do something about it. I hope so, guys. Because yeah, we can talk, we can judge, we can say whatever, but at the end of the day, the person you should be pointing fingers at is the person who passed away. Now his children are financially strained. They have debt now because of this whole thing, you know. Hey man, guys, let me know what you guys think about this whole, I almost said drama, but this is not drama. This is so heartbreaking. Let me know, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like there's more to the story? For me personally, I feel like there's more, but I also feel like, man, we shouldn't be digging deeper. He is no more. And do you also feel like they should be paying the bill, Yako government hospital? Me personally, I don't feel like they should. If people remove someone from a private hospital to a government hospital, it means they are not financially capable to be paying more bills. So what are you trying to say, you know? But anyway, guys, oh, I almost forgot. He also mentioned how people are so quick to support you when you are dead, but they don't show up when you are alive. And this is something we normalized. Like, us post now on your status, or you need money for varsity, or you are in the hospital, nobody's gonna show up. But when you are dead, trust and believe, people will show up. People will take their last cent to bury you, but they will never take their last cent to help you stay alive. And this is so sad, very very sad.